So I've been browsing through YouTube and just having a look at how other guys are using their amps and all that sort of thing. And for me, you know that I'm more of a GT sort of player, straight to PA, and I'm very happy with that setup. But there are certain times where I need more than just a monitor if I'm playing with a band or whatever. So I've only dabbled with this a little bit. And I thought, let's start off a series of videos. Maybe you guys can let me know what you'd like to see. And let me see if I can come up with some tones that I would use for a gig. I'm going to be monitoring straight from the speaker. You guys will be hearing it from USB, which is plugged into the back, and that is going through into my laptop direct. So what I normally need for a gig is a clean, a nice compressed clean, a crunchy overdrive, and a drive with a solo boost. Straight off the bat, that's not bad at all. Something to note about this, obviously you've got your four tone settings, and then you got a variation, so you can save up to 8 sounds. For me personally, I don't need more than 4. I normally do clean, crunch, drive, and then I'll program a solo patch as a tone patch. I prefer that over a solo boost because I don't like to mess with my rhythm tone once it's set. You obviously have your dedicated solo switch, which is great as well. You know, the amp is pretty self-explanatory with the different channels, EQs, effects. But where it really starts to shine is where you plug it into Boss Tone Studio. But the first thing that I noticed straight away is the contour and the cab resonance that can make a world of difference. I find I enjoy it most on vintage. And I'll show you the different. I do apologize if I'm a little bit clogged up. And so I've played a show over the weekend and the weather was rainy and windy. So now, just above the power switch here, there is a dial for vintage, modern, and deep. I'm going to flip through them now. So we are currently on modern. I'm now going to flip to vintage. And then deep. Straight away, that's not terrible. Go back to vintage. And yeah, you lose a bit of the top end, but I prefer a creamier sound to a crystal. Deep is a little bit scooped to my ears, at least on the clean. Alright, let's have a look at our EQ. Currently our bass is on 40, 49, mids on 80, treble on 44. I quite like this EQ already, it's nice. I normally scoop the mids a bit more in a clean sound. The next thing I want to look at here, okay, so you can see we're on the effects block. Now I want to check out my chain. We're currently on chain number 3, which is going booster into mod into effects, into amp EQ, then your delay, reverb, and speaker. So that's the way I want it to be, because I want to compress before the amp. Or do I want to, actually, I'd prefer to compress after the amp. So let's change this to effects chain 1. The tone shouldn't change. Alright, now let's go into effects. And you can see here we've got all these effects. What I'm looking for is a compressor. The Boss compressor is a great one to start with. You don't have ratio and all that on here. I wonder if you've got one on any of the others. I don't think so. I think this is based more on the GT100 type of effect. Okay, so let's just go with Boss compressor. That's probably the most reliable one. Now what you want to do is turn it on and get your volume to not drop or boost. And I find putting the attack up doesn't seem to cut your signal as much. So you're getting those attacks I like, and now you put the sustain up to bring up the lower level. A little bit too much for me, so maybe the attack I must go further up into the 90s. I don't know if this works exactly the same as the other compressor I'm used to. Let's pull this down. You know, that's too much. Let's go with about 80, but let's bring the sustain down to maybe 55. Not too bad. Just knock it down a little more. Tone up a bit, attack down. The reason I'm playing chords is that's usually when you'll hear the most from the compressor. You'll notice it'll cut away quite a bit. I'm certain this is the kind of setting I normally like. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's check the volume difference. Quite a bit different, so let's knock this up. It's almost there. Now the only thing about compression, when you get that sort of a sound, you hear that. So we're going to want to go to the noise gate. And let's make it a fairly slow one, maybe about 15. Just bump it up till this disappears. clean, I wouldn't go higher than about 70-ish. Now, something else that I should probably mention now is you've got these 3 contour settings. If you don't know much about EQ, they're probably a good place to start. But I've turned them off, and then you get 3 global EQs. If you go into your system here, global EQ, you can pick the color, and you can make it either a graphic EQ or a parametric. This is what I was dabbling with last night. So if I turn this off, put it back on. It just cleans up a bit of the mud. A little bit of saturation there, but that could be coming from my pickups as well, because they are a little bit hot. So I could probably pull this gain down just a smidge, and maybe put the volume up a bit. Yeah, that's cool. All right, what else would I do to my clean? I would probably put on a plate or a hall. Let's go hall. Let's go about 3 seconds, maybe about 60. A little bit of a pre-delay. Let's try that. That works great for me, man. Yeah, I like that. What else would I do? I'd probably program a delay that I could put on and off with a tap. bad. Let's hear pan. I probably won't be able to perceive this, but you probably will. It's a bit much for the amp. Analog. As much as I like analog, what I have noticed is live, that high cut makes the delay disappear completely. So if it's not really loud, you won't hear it. Tape's not bad. Modulate. Touch louder, and I'll turn that off for now because I would use that to turn on when I want it. Actually, no. Leave it on, because then more time, 9 out of 10 times, I want the delay on. Now that I'm playing it out loud, I feel it could use a little bit of clarity. So what we have here is you've got two EQs. This is amp in, this is amp out. But you can also make them both amp out, which is what I would do. So I want to brighten up the high mids a little, which are probably somewhere around 1.6 or 2K. And high gain, let's knock it up by like 3. That's cool. And lastly, maybe just a hint of a chorus. Let's see what else we got here. Comp slicer T-bar. Another graphic and parametric EQ. So you can really EQ your tones if you want. You got the DC30. I'm not sure what that is. If it's a, I want to hope it's a dimension, but it's probably not. I'm happy with that. It's nice, man. Cool, thanks for tuning in, guys. That is the clean tone. In the next video, we'll try and do the same with overdrive, and then a bigger distortion drive, and then a solo as well. Cool. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.